Olympic boxing has a history of controversial decisions. One of the most infamous happened at the 1988 Seoul Olympics, where Roy Jones Jr. of the USA was robbed of the gold that was surely his.
You can only talk about, in terms of the worst decisions made in the Olympics, Roy Jones is right up there.
The Roy Jones story had its roots back at the previous Games of Los Angeles, where there was a strong suspicion that American boxers were being favored. 36 out of 37 decisions involving American fighters went to the home nation.
The Koreans in particular felt that they'd been robbed. One Korean official, boxing official, actually said, "You wait. You remember where the next Olympics are going to be. They're going to be in our country. And we're going to get even."
4 years later, the South Koreans were to welcome the rest of the world to Seoul with open arms. But the atmosphere inside the boxing arena was a little less friendly.
This was the last day of boxing. There was tremendous tension because the Koreans felt they had been terribly wronged by the American media. Roy Jones knows that he's fighting in a hostile crowd. Park Si-hun, who had qualified for the final by winning 4 phantom victories, one by hitting the guy way below the belt, and 3 controversial decisions. I was working as a radio commentator for NBC Radio. We were told there was tremendous hostility toward Americans in general and NBC personnel specifically. So there was a very tense atmosphere inside the arena, and I suddenly, when I sat down, had this jolt of fear, real hostility, that if a decision went wrong, that somebody might actually attack us.
First round.
From the very beginning of the fight, it was clear that Roy Jones was the superior boxer. Roy Jones just pummeled Park Si-hun. It wasn't even close. The first round, pummel, pummel, pummel. Second round, pummel, pummel, pummel. Third round, same thing. It just wasn't close. Jones is almost toying with him now. He isn't even bothering to put up his guard. He's scored so many points. He's hit him twice, 3 times as many times. At this point, Park's only hope is to knock him out. Or so we all thought. I remember one of my colleagues at the end of the fight said, "This is a clear victory for Roy Jones, the American." And then, we cut to commercial, and he turned to me and said, "Well, there's no question about who's going to win that fight." He was like this. And, I said, I wouldn't be so sure. The judges are computing the scores, and I noticed one of the Korean volunteers kind of sneaking over where he shouldn't be, out of his area, until he got over the judge's shoulders. And he peeked over, and his face lit up. Now watch here. This guy has just looked over, and he's found out Park is going to win. And you can hear the cheering, because the people in the stands are seeing Korean volunteers jumping up and down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is on point 3-2 in the blue corner.
Park knows this is wrong. He feels bad. You have Roy Jones, who's absolutely shocked. The referee, who's disgusted, and Park Si-hun, who's humiliated because he knows he lost. Afterwards, I was sitting there, with my NBC radio colleagues, and journalists from all over the world came up to us, telling us in various languages what a rotten decision it was, coming up and shaking our hands and telling us how we had been cheated. It was Roy Jones who'd been cheated.
Despite being denied gold, Jones was named as the outstanding boxer of the Games and went on to become one of the greatest fighters of the modern era. But to find the most memorable incident in Olympic history of a lost gold medal, we have to go back 4 years to the 1984 Los Angeles Games.